Starting off the broadcast, we have Meta Knights with two sides of the same coin. To represent how Meta Knight has been both an ally and an enemy to Kirby, this mode has Meta Knights fight in free-for-alls against characters and their evil counterparts simultaneously. The penultimate fight is against Dark Meta Knight and Galactonite, and the final boss is against both hands, regardless of difficulty. Pit's campaign is Fighting for the Goddess, in which all the fights are based off of Kid Icarus Uprising. First is Dark Samus, standing in as Dark Lord Gaul. Bowser and Junior are a Reaper and a Reapette. Ganondorf is Magnus. Dark Pit is himself. Bayo is Medusa. Palutena is playing herself, possessed by the Chaos Kin. And the hands are Hades, with Dark Pit fighting on side.
Dark Pit, you just dropped in to crash my party?
Pitu's route is Created Warriors, in which he fights against artificially created or enhanced enemies. Mewtwo, a clone of Mew. Dark Samus, manifested by Phazon. Dark Link, a reflection of Link. Cloud, a member of Soldier infused with alien cells. Blood Falcon, an evil Captain Falcon clone. Pit, whose powers are granted to him by Palutena. And finally, Gallium, a robot. Zero Suit Samus's run is called Grapplers, Whips, Claws. In this one, she fights characters who fight with wires. The Lynx with their hook shots, Ivysaur with Vine Whip, Dark Samus with Grapple Beam, Yoshi with his tongue, the Belmonts with their vampire killers, and these Little Macs are literally made out of wires.
Wario's gonna win!
In this route, Wario fights enemies who rely on brute strength. Ganondorf, Charizard, Ike, DDD, K. Rool, and Incineroar. Being other Mario-adjacent characters, DK and Bowser aren't included here.
Snake, your mission is weapons and equipment, on-site procurements. Your task is to take down a selection of weapons experts in long-range combats. Projectile weaponry and explosives will be spawned in to assist you, but beware. Intelligence reveals that Liquid Snake is among the enemies you'll be facing, and he may have commandeered a Metal Gear.
Ike's route is the Black-Clad Warriors, in which Ike fights characters who either wear black or have black alternate costumes. Before any of y'all assume this is a racial thing, I'll have you know that Ike is the wokest bae in the cast, and that his dislike of dark clothing is down to the Black Knights, the man who murdered his father. Red and Leaf's campaign, the Future Champion, is quite similar to Pikachu's. The major difference here is that no items spawn in, and the penultimate battle is against whichever trainer you are not playing as, assumingly standing in as your rival. Same as before, the final boss is Mewtwo, followed by a single Master Hand. Diddy Kong's route is Hey Little Buddy, in which Diddy Kong plays sidekick to a bunch of different characters before heading back to his BFF. To be specific, he teams up with Mario, Zero Suit Samus, Zelda, Red, and Kirby, before returning to Donkey Kong. Lucas's path is magic, sacred powers, and PSI. And in keeping with that name, he battles fighters who are adept in such things. Ness, a pair of Robins, Rosalina, Palutena, Bayonetta, and Mewtwo.
Sonic's the name, speed's my game.
Rolling around at the speed of sound, we have Sonic. His first match is against Fox to highlight his friendship with Tails. The second is against Captain Falcon, the other Smash character with a penchant for high-speed racing. Then you have either Metal or Mecha Sonic, fought in a Sonic Adventure-esque setting, 3 Kirbys to represent the speed, flying, and power archetypes from Sonic Heroes, the Arabian-coded Sheik as a nod to Sonic and the Secret Rings, and finally a giant Incineroar to represent Zavok from Sonic Lost Worlds. Which I suppose makes up for the lack of a Zavok spirit battle. King DDD takes part in the Royal Rumble, in which he takes on King K. Rool, Hero King Marth and Prince Roy, Princess Zelda, Princesses Peach and Daisy, King Bowser and Prince Bowser, and the Demon King, Ganondorf. Olimar and Alf go on a planetary exploration. First to the Good Egg Galaxy, then Sector Z, Planet Popstar, Brinstar, Corneria, and the Garden of Hope, where they fight one another.
Continue. Game. Congratulations.
Lucario's roots is Counter Encounters. Tying into his role as a fighting Pokemon who can learn both Detect and Counter by leveling up, this route has you fight enemies who can do the same thing. Shulk with his Visions and Little Mac with his Slip Counter, Palutena with her Reflect Counter, and Bayo with her Witch Time, Marth, Lucina, Mii Sword Fighters, Roy, Ike, and Corrin with their standard counters, and finally, Greninja with substitutes.
Congratulations.
R.O.B's route is Unreadable Expressions, in which he fights enemies who are unable to emote, such as Meta Knight, Dark Samus, Mr. Game & Watch, Wireframe Mac, Wii Fit Trainers, Other R.O.Bs, and Gallium. Toon Link brings us the Teamwork of Courage, a campaign based off of Triforce Heroes, in which you fight a variety of teams with a red and a blue Toon Link alongside you. The penultimate boss of this route is a giant Ganondorf, and the final boss is, of course, Ganon.
Congratulations.
Wolf's campaign is the surprisingly heartwarming Reunited roster, featuring all of the characters who were omitted from Brawl and or Smash 4, but came back for Ultimate as announced by the Everyone Is Here trailer. This even includes the boss of the route, Gallium, who last appeared in Brawl's Subspace Emissary.
Congratulations!
Villager's route, Mistake to Underestimate, has him fighting against other characters who seem unfit for combat. You know, what with Animal Crossing being a pacifist friendship simulator. You have Red, who is just a normal kid until he unleashes his Pokemon. Ness and Lucas, who are also normal kids until they are bestowed with PSI. Dr. Mario, a doctor. The Wii Fit trainers, exercise instructors, and Isabelle, a Shih Tzu secretary who wouldn't hurt a fly.
Congratulations!
Mega Man's campaign, Variable Weapon System Online, discards most of the elements of a standard classic mode in order to recreate Mega Man 2 as closely as possible. First you battle Iceman, then Metal Man, Woodman, and Quickman. Then, skipping some of the other Robot Masters, you take on Wily's Castle, where you have your boss rush. This is followed by a battle against the Gutsman tank, and finally Dr. Wily, who reveals himself to have been an alien this whole time. Just kidding, it's a hologram.
Congratulations!
The Wii Fit Trainers route is Aerobic Smash. And not to body shame, but they battle against all of the fat characters. Wario, some Kirbys, Pac-Man. K. Rool is so overweight here that Dr. Mario has to step in for medical intervention. King Dedede, and a giant Jigglypuff.
Congratulations!
Just like Olimar and Alf, Rosalina and Luma go planet hopping, one star after another. The big difference for these two, though, is that they end up teaming up with Mario in order to stop both Bowser and Marx from gaining intergalactic power.
Congratulations!
Little Mac engages in some friendly sparring, which is to say that he fights with a bunch of close-range martial artists. The penultimate boss fight of this route is Donkey Kong, referencing his boss fight in Punch-Out for the Wii.
Congratulations!
Your turn, Greninja! You know that thought exercise where you figure out what Pokemon team a fictional character would have? That's what this route is. Bowser comes at you with his big tough fire type. Zero Suit Samus, who is known to be fond of cute animals, uses a Pikachu and a Pichu. Ryu and Ken, a pair of disciplined martial artists who can harness ki, share a Lucario who can do the same. If Piranha Plant wasn't DLC, he'd totally be rocking this Ivysaur. The Psychic Boys have a Mewtwo, and the penultimate fight shows us that if he wasn't a Pokemon himself, Greninja would use Squirtle, a fellow water starter.
Congratulations!
Oh, I'm not here to save you, Pete. I'm here for a little, divine intervention.
which also happens to be the name of her roots. In this one, Palutena fights enemies who are affiliated with holy powers. Link and Zelda hold parts of the Triforce, Cloud is standing in as Magnus, Simon and Richter are as biblical as they come, Shulk wields the Monado, Bayo kills angels on the reg, and the army of Pits and Dark Pits live to serve Palutena.
Congratulations!
In Pac-Man's roots, Ageless Classic, Pac faces off against series mascots from the third generation of gaming. There are the Super Mario Bros. And Donkey Kong, Duck Hunt, Ice Climber and the Robotic Operating Buddy, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Castlevania and Kid Icarus, Punch-Out, Mega Man and Metal Gear, Fire Emblem, Dr. Mario and Kirby's Dream Land, and as a final boss, Dracula. I was confused by this at first, thinking it was just another nod to Castlevania, but then I realised that as a vampire, Dracula is literally ageless. And not only that, but he first appeared in an 1897 novel. Dracula is literally an ageless classic, and I respect that cleverness.
Congratulations!
Time to tip the scale.
Robin's run is Thunder and Flames. In this one, they take on pairs of enemies who fight with electricity and fire respectively. Pichu and Charizard, Zero Suit Samus and Roy, Pikachu and Incineroar, Rob and Ken, Dr. Mario and Bowser, and a Robin of the opposite gender.
Congratulations!
I'm really feeling it.
Witness the Monado's power! Has Shulk fight enemies based on his Monado arts. Falco, the highest jumping character in the game, is the jump art. Sonic is of course speed, Giant K. Rool is shield, Cloud, wielder of the Buster Sword, is Buster, Little Mac with his KO punch is Smash, and Mega Man is Enchant. One of the arts that doesn't appear in this game, but allows Shulk's party to damage the Mechonis.
Congratulations!
Bowser Jr., in keeping with Mario Sunshine, has a route called Mama Peach, where are you? Wherein he attempts to kidnap princess after princess in the hopes of finally finding and kidnapping Peach. Oddly, the Koopalings all share this route with him, despite not seeing Peach as a maternal figure.
Congratulations!
Dog Duck Zapper is a route that focuses on hunting animals. Wild, domestic, cryptid, all animals are fair game. You hunt apes, hedgehogs, space animals, crocodiles, fursuiters. No, I'm not joking. Other dogs and ducks. And finally, after all that, you become a fully fledged monster hunter.
Congratulations!
Much like Mega Man, Ryu's classic mode, Seeking a Challenge, ignores all of the basic classic mode conventions in order to simulate Street Fighter 2. All battles are stamina based and you take on Ken, Chun-Li, Zangief, Blanka, Balrog, Vega, and finally, you team up with Ken in order to take on M. Bison, as he appears on the cover of Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition.
it on.
Ken's route is Red Hot Rivalry. In this one, Ken fights all of the rival characters. All three dark counterparts, Wolf, Luigi, Ryu, his own rival, and if you're at a low difficulty, a solo Crazy Hand.
Congratulations.
こんな日が来るとは思わなかったな。
A ride? Not interested. Has Cloud battle on a bunch of vehicles in spite of his motion sickness. The Spirit Train is a nod to the train from FF7's intro. Both the Great Fox and the Halberd are reminiscent of the High Winds. Rainbow Ride's flying ship is much like a classic Final Fantasy airship. Big Blue is just like Final Fantasy VII's motorcycle chase. And the Pleiades isn't dissimilar to the Shinra No. 26 spacecraft.
Congratulations.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I feel like I have no choice but to... Join Smash!
Corrin's route, between white and black, has them playing on both sides of a war between monochromatic fighters. It's genuinely quite hard to keep track of which side Corrin is currently loyal to, with one fight even pairing two Corrins against both Pit and Dark Pit. But this essentially serves as a nod to Fire Emblem Birthright, Conquest, and Revelations.
Congratulations.
Let's dance, boy.
In Bayonetta's Requiem of Fallen Wings, she fights a cast of winged characters, all of whom happen to represent enemies from her own series. Dark Pit is Loptier, Falco is a Flaming Affinity, Ridley is an Inspired, Giant Charizard is Fortitudo, Meta Knight is the Masked Lumen once again, this horde of pits are all affinities, and the final boss of this route is a giant Palutena, standing in for Jubileus the Creator. And with that, we have only one more of these to go until we have every currently released spirits. See you then.